Oh, we good now? Holy moly. Took long enough. Sheesh. What's good, y'all, man? It's your boy VTG. We back in the building, man. It's another edition of Friday Night Live. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday, February 12th, almost Pisces season. You know the vibes, man. We got a good special one for y'all this evening, man. I've been waiting to have this guest on, but it's gonna be a little vibe, man. This should be one for the books. Yo, shout out to Spaka. You know what I'm saying? Don't get lost in the system, baby. Hit him up for some merch. He got some dope stuff. It's good quality. It's comfortable and whatnot. I had to show him some love. Yo, what else, man? Again, I just appreciate everybody who's been showing love with the project and whatnot. To whom it may concern, out now on all platforms. Make sure y'all go to Bandcamp, imakebangers.com to go get that joint. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Shot a video last weekend. We're gonna drop that on my birthday. Shh, don't tell nobody. You know what I mean? What else has been going on, man? It's just been dope seeing everything that's been happening on a scene musically in Rhode Island. But we're gonna get to it in a second. What else did I want to tell y'all? I forget at the moment, but we gonna jump in. The guest is in the building, Mr. C8 himself. Hey, take a shot for Big Pop in heaven. Where you at? You gotta accept it. The suspense. In the meantime, yo, that whole verse, crazy, ridiculous. First couple bars, he started going off. Here we go. Here we go.
Sergeant 7, delegate my clan with explosives going postal. Sending this airmail with no postage. Off that clean green energy, I'm high voltage. On me at 2 straight, killing it with no motive. Premeditated, verbal assaults aggravated. Herbals, bath salts, medicated. Stay true to my wall craft, I'm dedicated. Like deep breezy cuts, fam, I stay faded. When you live it in they top 5, you stay hated. Peep perspective, I'm in my A, cause y'all never made it. I'm on the mountaintop, eye in the scope, fine on the spot.
Enemy at 12 o'clock.
To take the shot. Game the inches and I cover distance. Vintage, push the pin, spit in one take, no punching in. Lyrics burn like a chest wound and a shot of gin. No love on the battlefield when I go in. Yo. Yeah.
Whoa! We got a
family
Friday Night Live exclusive. He came on spitting, pause.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bathed in blood because the flow's atrocious.
Yo, who did that beat?
What's going on? That Spockets ball. Benny on the beat, yo.
Yeah. Yo, shout out Benny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's off that Army of Two album. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Before we even jump into all of that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aunties, uncles, everybody.
Boys and girls should be sleeping right about now. No, it's Friday. They should be.
Cats and dogs. We got Mr. PhazeSeven, G.U.M Entertainment's own. What's poppin', bro?
Yeah. You already know, man. Grinding, working, always pushing the pen, man. Always
Big
pushing
facts.
the pen, always creating. You know what we got going on, man. But man, it's taking in work, man. I got my man, shout out to my man Motor General. Sent me some verses for another project that I got going on top of the Army of Two joint. Little another quick EP to drop. Probably drop both of them at the same time. It's looking like that. But hey, yo, it's crazy, man. We gonna shoot out the double barrel.
You know what I mean?
But
So
that's a whole different vibe, man. It's really, man. I'm recording that with shout out to DJ 456. Produced every track on it, 8 tracks, man. And actually he did 7 Feet Deep off the EP. Same dude from 7 Feet Deep fame. Blessed me with 8 joints and a couple more in the bag. But it's a collab with me and my childhood friend. So what we kind of did was we just kind of got together while I was doing the Army of Two. They proposed it. I took it on, and boom, we got two joints coming out. So me and you gonna hit them with 10, and then me, Haven 456 gonna hit them with 8. So 18 tracks already done. Just trying to get it recorded, man. You know what happened with all this pandemic and all this stuff. So
one quick second.
Yeah.
Shout out T Money in the building. Shout out Celeste in the building. You know what I'm saying? Friday, they friends of the show here on Friday Night Live. Oh, we got Abe in the building.
Hey,
it's going crazy up in here. It's going crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm just glad I made it, man. I've been missing them. I've been catching them like the tail end of them, man. I've been busy on Friday night, boy.
Listen, we all got lives. I understand, man. So as you know, or for those who watching who may not know, when I have guests on here, I like getting into their stories and whatnot and how they got started and doing whatever they do. Obviously, PhazeSeven, you know what I'm saying, artist extraordinaire. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where'd you come up? How'd you first get involved with music? Like, what was PhazeSeven like before he was PhazeSeven?
Music's my life, man. Rest in peace to my mom, man. But I grew up.
Rest in peace.
I grew up uptown Philly, West Oak Lane, last of the Mohegans. Shout out to my man Bud, Cal Digger, Lee.
Shout out 215.
Man, my whole family back in Philly, man. Havano, everybody from uptown. But I grew up around music, man. I grew up Saturday morning chores, music banging. So, of course, the era that I grew up listening to, late 80s, early 90s, had all the 70s flavor I used to listen to around the crib. So, I mean, I automatically got hooked on hip-hop from there. And then by the time I got to high school, man, shout out to my man Daz Jones. Shout out to, my man Kev, Swift Vader. Rest in peace, Ed Mitty. My man Big Sim. Everybody MIT backwards K. In high school, I started running with them cats. And my man used to do beats in his basement. Was way ahead of his time. He was our Jay Dilla. And he used to bang the beats out in the basement, man. And that's everybody wanted to be an Ed Crib in high school, man. So, we leave school a little early, get to school a little bit late, just vibing with Ed, making music. Old school, man. The old school tracks. He cook up a beat right there. That's why I do what I do now. To fast forward to now, just one take, man. Like, I don't do no punching in. Like, I still stay true to the craft. I write my shit. And I go in the booth and just one take, no stopping, no punching. That's how we had to do it back then. You couldn't back then, back in 94, 95,
couldn't punch.
Recording, it wasn't no punching in, it wasn't no cleaning it up. You just had to go mistake free from start to finish. And, that's, where my humble beginnings was, man.
So
rhyming with the backwards K.
Coming up in Philly in the 80s, like, who were some of your first influences when it came to music? Not even just hip hop, but like music in general. Like, what shaped you and molded you into who you are today?
Well, first of all, it all started with sound. Just like I said, the 70s sound. And then in the 80s when it was EPMD, and that's all. I weaved that all into my music, just that style of rhyming, that it was creative, it was fun, it was hardcore. I mean, they kind of did everything. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they put on EPMD back in 87, 88. My sister used to bang music. She used to bang Slick Rick, Beastie Boys, Run DMC, LL Cool J, all that stuff beforehand. So it was a
She
mix
older?
of everything. Huh?
She older?
Yeah, 5. She got me by 5. Sister, she got me by 5 years.
Okay.
So
Also,
she was older. So of course she was back then the big fat name belts and block parties and concerts and all that stuff back in the day. So boom, I picked up from there. And then my cousin Malik, shout out to Malik, put a EP in '88, summer '88, man. He put an EPMD tape in my hand, and ever since then, man, I had everything EPMD ever, put out. Actually met them, and a couple years in Providence a couple years ago, got to really kick it with them and tell them that I appreciate what it is that they did that brought out the MC and me. And then from there, they put out Redman, who is my number one, my ace, my GOAT of all times, and the person that I guess that I want to emulate most, him, Black Thought.
Why don't you show them? Didn't you get to meet Mr. Doc?
My GOAT wall, yeah, I did. That's all the way on the other wall. I may get a chance to get a whole rundown in my wall of fame, but I got a whole wall of everything.
Oh, you officially got it.
A lot of hip hop memorabilia down here.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Phaze got the
Chuck D.
He got the hip hop Hall of Fame in his
Chuck
crib.
D. I'm waiting for them to call me for the biopic so I could be a stunt double for Chuck D. in the Public Enemy story. Get at me, somebody.
Word. So that's who you would say, like, when you first started putting the pen to the pad, you was like cutting in that EPMD lane.
That was my whole vibe, man. That was my whole coming in, but it was just everywhere, just like music is everywhere. Like, you could rhyme about everything, man, in anything. And it was that feel, it was that sound that got my pen moving. But same shit back in the day, rap about shit going on around the way, rap about school, rap about the things we did to earn money before we had jobs. I leave that up to the imagination, or go back and listen to the joint I got with Motor General, where it's just a song about just coming up. And it was the same shit back then, man. And the same vibe that's different from me and your project with the one with 456 and my man Have, that's a lot of the throwback stuff about growing up. Like, me and him was tight. We grew up together, been best friends since 5. So that whole album vibe is just all the shit that we went through back then, kind of telling it now, looking back, like kind of time traveling back to that time to like tell those stories. But
shout out to Royal Bomani, said PhazeSeven is the best artist, hands down. Phaze is the only one I'm gonna say that's better than me, because honestly, man,
that dude right there, Royal Bomani, killing it down south, man. With the shout out to Sea Miss Fresh Seafood Company, in Fayetteville, South Carolina. Killing it, man. Killing it. If you down south, if you anywhere in the North Carolina, South Carolina, make it down there to Fayetteville. He's got a couple locations popping down there, but black business doing his thing.
Shout out,
great customer service, man. The plates, man. He be posting them plates up, man. And I just want to go hit I-95 and go straight down there, get a plate, come back, make a day trip all the way to the Carolinas. That is looking that proper down there. But shout out to him and everybody through the pandemic, through the nonsense that we got going on. Black man doing good. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And to your further point, I want to say, if y'all want to get a good glimpse of what he was talking about, aside from his EP, which we'll get into that, 7 Faces of PhazeSeven, on the tape I put out last with Franchise, generally speaking, 3, click the link in the bio. We got a track called Always, Me, Him, and Theory. And I feel like your verse is like a good synopsis of what you was just saying. You know what I mean?
And I wrote that in Philly. I went back, took a trip. I went to go visit my pops.
Went to the roots.
And,
pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. So I wrote that verse in Philly actually. So it was crazy when we did the Red and Meth show that everybody was there, and I actually shouted that out if I could remember. I wasn't that done, but I remember shouting it out, and I started writing the rhyme up here after he was like, "Yo, this is the joint I want you to be on." And then I got to Philly, like I had to finish it up, man. And it just being back home just made me.
That's one of my favorite verses of yours.
Finished it, huh?
That's one of my favorite verses of yours.
I appreciate that, man.
I was gonna ask you, going back to like when you first started like tapping in and writing, like to me, you have a very unique style. Like, how did you come to develop that?
I'm a fan of production, catching the beat, and then just filling the page. I run on. Like I used to, even when I used to write in school, I was guilty of writing run on sentences. It was just how I was as a writer. Like I wouldn't stop. I just keep going. So when it came to rhyming, I always, and everybody I rhyme with, Daz, my man, Corey Hanzo, and like Sim, like everybody was way better than me. Like everybody was way better than me because they had been doing it. So my goal was to just fill a page, and I still do it to this day. Like in everything I do, when I write a rhyme, when I push the pen, I fill a whole page. Then I kind of go back, take a look at it, spit it, and then I take out what I don't like, put in, something that's maybe better. So if I end with a bar that is I might sit on it for a week, sit on it for 2 weeks, and then just take that one bar out and put it in. So I try to fill every line, with something. And most people catch it. Most people, the best feedback that I get is they're just like, damn, like, yo, like just every line was like kind of dope. So that's what my blueprint is. If I'm to have a blueprint, is fill a page, and then if shit's whack or if shit don't make sense or it's kind of corny, like just take it and throw it away, put something else in there.
And one of my favorite things about you, I tell you all the time, is, yo, the way you throw your name in every verse, like you just set it up, PhazeSeven, and just that's like, to me, that's the illest part about you, dog.
Yeah, I'm slowing down on that now. Is once people get to know me and get the flow, like they catch it. But it's funny you say that. If PhazeSeven was all over the first project, because that was the first thing that like I put out like solo. That was me and shit that I created. That wasn't a collaboration. So it was important to put that in there, just to, what I'm saying, scratch the surface of my name, the brand, like is what you do. So what you're supposed to do.
You're coming up, you're with your peoples, you're right. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Was PhazeSeven always your rap name, or did you have other ones? Because I know I started off like Vaughn the General was,
you had like 10 names, didn't you?
Yo, fan. Shout out T Money. He'll tell you, yo, I started off with him. I had like 4 or 5 different names, dog.
Nah, that's funny, man. I said it in one of the joints. Stephen Fred Faison Jr. was printed on my birth record. Before the record, I'm PhazeSeven with the pen. So my shit back in the day was always real name, no gimmicks. Like that was the thing. Like everybody was little this and little that and this, that, and whatever. So I just want to use my real name. So I went by Steve Phaze first. So after a while, growth happened, and I'm just like, all right, my first name is Steve. It's so common. So what I did was I dropped the T out of my first name, so you get 7. And then my last name was Faison, but everybody used to call me Phaze. Play football, they call you by your last name, so everybody shortened Faison to Phaze. So I flipped it, and I got PhazeSeven. So it's still real name, no gimmicks.
Hello. So young PhazeSeven's coming up with his people, he's rhyming. Like, are you putting projects together? Are you like pursuing a career? Like, what's your what's that fork in the road for you? Not even fork in the road, but as an artist, like what's your plan, or do you even have a plan? Or you just like, yo, I'm just trying to get iller and iller and iller?
Always got a plan, but even back then, man, it was the pass. Again, we was young boys passing the time, and half of us was, you know, doing it to stay out of trouble. The other half of us was doing it to pursue record deals back then. And it was just always a pastime. After that, it was a pastime. Fast forward to graduation, of course. I leave Philly, move here. My mom was from here, so I was always back and forth between Rhode Island and Philly my whole life. But my mom was shout out to, you know, all my family down there, the Blackwells, the Greens, the Masseys, all of them down there in Newport. But I was always back and forth, back and forth. So it was just always something that followed. Like a bunch of people, I'd be in Newport, a bunch of people rhyming or listening to music. Like, oh, yo, you rap, you got something? And then I spit something. Shout out to everybody at URI, my years down there. In the lobbies and the Rams Den, in the poetry slams, on the radio, just whenever it came up, like, yo, spit something. Like I spit, but like I never really wanted to put nothing together, really put nothing out. And that didn't happen until, you know, I bumped into you, Al Boogie. Shout out to Al Boogie and you and Gum. But that just all happened. And then the plan changed to where it was like, all right, so now what I want to do is, I wasn't feeling music probably when I think of going back like the past 10 years. I had a situation where I lost my job, and I was just like, damn, like when I sat down, I had no job. I didn't know where I was going to be working next to, you know, feed my family. And I was just like, you know what? Another little stream of income and just making music, something for my kids. If I went to go do the worst thing after losing my job and being rock bottom, if I was to go do something stupid, I needed my kids to have something to listen to, you know, just be like, damn, like dad did this. So that's when I got back into music, and I was like, I just want to make dope shit and put it out. That's it.
That's dope. That's dope. So before we get into when we link, coming up, like, give me like 3 to 5 of the albums that help shape you as an MC. Not necessarily, I mean, they could be the same, not necessarily your favorite, but the albums that made you go, yo, this changed my life. I gotta push it to that next plateau.
I can't pick 5, man. I'll say the first joint have to be actually the EPMD business Never Personal album is probably the first one that was just like,
you know, Redman's coming.
Yeah, with the headbanger on it, like with him, K Solo, and EPMD on the track. I'm just like, damn, like crazy. And like I studied hip hop history and read at some point in my life that beat was for Ice Cube, and then they whatever happened, it didn't go to Ice Cube, so they ended up rocking on it. But that was the one that had me in the mirror, you know, had me and my man Have in the mirror, like thinking we was EPMD, Redman and K Solo, switching off the verses. So I have to say that whole album and that one. Redman's first album, for sure. Only Built for Cuban Links album, for sure, with the way that was done. Another one sonically, like Wu-Tang was Killer Army, man, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. I think that's probably the most slept on album from a production and rhyming type standpoint. I think it kind of fell in the shadow of a lot of the dope shit that Wu-Tang put out, but that shit was one. And I gotta, you gotta say Illmatic, you gotta say Nas, and like that whole vibe, man. Like we used to, me and my man, shout out to my man RP, we used to argue Red and Nas back in Philly all the time, man. Like just argue back and forth, who was the dopest. But again, those if that was 5, and then let me say Roots, Philadelphia Half Life, 1996,
Nice.
was another one. It was just again like thoughts getting his due now, but people got to go back and listen to that shit and just be like, damn, like crazy him and rest in peace Malik B. Um, Crazy man, but I guess those are the big ones right there. Those are the heavyweight ones, lyrically, musically. Those are the 5 for right now. This could be a whole different story tomorrow, or go back to yesterday.
No, I feel you. It
It'd be
would
a
change
different 5.
daily as well. All right. So what was it, like 2016, 2017 we linked up?
About that, I'm horrible with years. But yeah, about 2017, it was years, right? Like probably a month after my mom passed away, man, was the first show.
That's crazy.
Was our first show.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was that experience like for you, uh linking up with us and kind of like hitting restart?
That again, man, it was no plan. Everything kind of just happened, man. And that just all started with Al Boogie calling me up, like, yo, man, like, and same shit, same scenario. It's like, yo, nephew's got a show, whatever. We're gonna go check the show, whatever. Like, I just want you to go there and, listen and just vibe and like give input. And, I did that. And like I saw you perform and I was just like, yo, he got it. Like, and this was, before this was you was doing the generally speaking, I think one was at that point in time. And so I was watching and I was like, yo, he got it. I was like, he got it. He got to tighten up here, shift here, do this there, and boom. Like, he's going to be something that everybody going to be talking about for a while. And then that show turned into this first studio session where, I watched you work, record, met G, shout out to, Jimmer's, watch you do your thing there. And then that's when Jimmer's blessed me with the first beat that became the first single of like my project. And I was just like, damn, like you motivated, it was you and your work to just motivate him and be like, yo, let me just crank out 7. Let me just crank out 7. At that point in time, I was trying to get producers to give me music and send me music. Here's the funny story.
Hold up,
How
Faze.
my
Hold up.
EP
One
got,
second.
go ahead.
1 second. Shout out to the Geek Gangsta up in here. You know what I'm saying? He's showing you love. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show, Friday Night Live. We in the building. If y'all didn't know, real quick commercial break. But that's what I wanted to ask you though, because you went right into it. What was the process of putting together the EP Faces of PhazeSeven, which by the way is out now on all streaming platforms. Please go stream it on
It's out there in the
go buy
universe.
it, all of that.
So just the thoughts behind that is back to no plan. Like I really didn't have a plan to put nothing out until the motivation came, the show, the studio session, the motivation came. So I didn't have a name for it. I didn't have tracks for it. I didn't have music for it. So what I did was I did a couple we went to franchise. And when I did that freestyle at franchise and then spit those bars I had at franchise, I turned that, I went back, listened, wrote all that down, picked up picked out the stuff that I didn't want, and then that's when I made that 7-verse song. So I made a 7-verse, and that was the other thing. So Jerris gave me that beat and was like, yo, take this beat, write something, come back and record. So what I did was I was supposed to leave a spot for you and whoever else on there with 7 breaks in the beat. So I went home and I wrote down so much and spit so much that I filled up all 7 verses. And then I just started tweaking it, flipped the verses around. And then that's when I went back and everybody was like, yo, like crazy. Like I stay in the booth and I just did all 7 verses in the song. So then
I remember I remember that session. You did that straight.
Straight, no chase. But after I did that, I just said, damn, I stuck to the 7 theme and was like, all right, I'm gonna build a project around that. So what I did was I let every producer that probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, yo, give me a beat, and it's like, yo, you ain't serious, you ain't gonna get back into it. I played that for him, and then that's when I just started getting the beats, man. Shout out to my man Bakasi Blue Beats. We was in 8th grade together in Philly, and he's a doctor now, like a straight legit doctor, but he's still doing the Dr. Dre on the boards. And he blessed me with like 10 beats, 4, 5, 6, hit me with beats, and then the beats just started coming in. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then like 9-2, you know, bless us with the beat for 7th gear. But the music just started coming in after that. After they knew I was serious, they're like, all right, like boom. It was hard to get beats, so let it be known that my whole first EP was just for me to shop around. I made that to shop around for producers to hear. That's why it's 7 different songs, 7 different styles. It was for producers to hear, to be like, oh shit, I'm gonna throw you some beats. And then you hear the Army of Two shit. Like ever since then, everybody's throwing me for beats. So it wasn't for fans, it wasn't for follows, it wasn't, you know, for money. You know, the little stream checks are nice, but you know what I mean? It was, you know, just to shop for producers to get music to fund everything else. And that's what it did, man.
So what was some
Here
of
we
your
are.
what was some of your favorite moments in creating that EP?
Favorite moments. I guess, man, just the vibe, man. Like it just felt good again, because my man, rest in peace, Ed Mitty, when he was doing everything else for that I was doing before G.U.M Entertainment, it wasn't like when we was growing up, you know, in his basement in Philly, recording it there, you know, vibing, smoking, drinking, chilling. It was different because he was in North Carolina. He moved out of Philly, North Carolina. I'm all the way up here, so I would spit a verse down here, send it to him. He'd mix it up, do whatever, send it back, and then I bounce it to somebody else. And just the vibe again, just to be in the studio with you, Theory. Shout out to Theory. My man Evac. Shout out to Evac, the rapper. Just to be in the studio, and you know, I go in the booth, I come out. He go in the booth, he come out, listen to the mix session, redo it again, just retake from the top. Like that was probably the dopest shit, man. And my wife, shout out to my wife who's cooking at the CV Club tonight. Just having her there, man. Like my son was, you know, he's in the womb. He's like 7 months in the womb at the studio session. Right. So I'm in there. The studio session, and like the beat comes on, I start flowing, and our stomach start jumping up. That's probably was the dopest shit, man.
That's right. He was in
the womb, man. He was 7 months in the womb. And we in studio sessions, and she about to pop, and we in there just getting it in, man. Just getting it in on the mic, man. Shout out to June Beats for, you know, 7 seconds I gets it in. Also, he's on the Army of Two joint too. But yo, it was just crazy, man. And it was just crazy. The vibes, best part of doing it. Writing, that's comes natural, man. I wake up out of a dream, man. I wake up out of a nightmare, and I got a notepad right by my bed to write down like shit that pops in, shit I see throughout the day, shit that I remember, experiences, like all comes together. So that's the constant. That's for every project I do. I write everything, man. I document everything, but the vibe for creating that EP. To answer the question.
Factual. And also during that time, like before, you know, the pandemic and whatnot, like what were some of your favorite show experiences and some of your favorite performances that you got to be a part of?
Yo, the too many to name, man. Like way too many to name. But I'm a pick one. The one I can't even remember. We didn't even all perform everything we had together, but like the whole rounds clicked and all of them was there, and yo, man, like people just wasn't a part of the show, was just on the stage. Like that was crazy. And that actually, like I took that moment. If you look at the cover of PhazeSeven, the track, which was a single off the EP, inside you can see the picture of all of us when we was back in the green room. But that show was crazy. That show was crazy. And then the shorty in the front that time, man, when she was saying the wildness show, she was saying the wildness, and my wife was right there. Man.
She was
Shout out to
throwing it
my
at
wife,
you,
man.
Phaze.
The groupie repellent, yo. That's what we called it, yo. We called it all this shit. We called it the groupie repellent. Yo, but yeah, that was crazy. It was wild. It was funny to me, man. That shit was funny. But yeah, the wife gave it an eye, yo, and she looked at me. I'm like, yo. We'll need that kind of static tonight. But that was one of my favorite shows, man. That shit was crazy.
Facts.
That shit was crazy. Boston was good. Shout out to my man Moss. You know, he's about to have a youngin', but you know, all my Boston cats, when I worked out in Boston, like they all came out to show. Big Mike Brunson, Digital Cable Abel, like my whole squad from Boston came out when we was at the Lily Pad. So too many, man. Too many.
One of my favorites was when we was in Newport, the one where the stage was in the back. I forget what
it was two. We went to Mr. Fitzgerald's record release party was the first show.
Not that one.
And then the second one we went in there. We grubbed first, and then we went to the back. It was Jimmy's Saloon was the
Not
Mr.
that
Fitzgerald one. Yeah, the other one when the stage was in the. We went 2 times because the stage. Yeah, the one in the back. I remember they had the little room in the back, the little green room. I was in the back. You was in the green room. Came out from that way. I came from the back, from where the front. I think that was Jimmy's Saloon.
That was. But honestly, anytime we rock out, you feel me?
It's a good time, man.
But
it's always a good time, man.
But of course, man, the people want to know. They've been waiting. Like we've been putting together this album, this classic body of work.
Yo,
man, Army of Two. What's it been like putting that together from your perspective? You know, before you answer that, it's funny because today in my memories, that video popped up when we was recording, and then I think that was the night we knocked out like 2 or 3 joints.
Yo, man, 2 or 3, like 4. Like it's crazy, man. Like it's crazy how you do that, man. Like me, I'm a writer, man. Like I'm right. I know you and Jay-Z and a whole lot of other people got the gift of listening, and then going to the mic with no pen, no paper, no phone. It's crazy to me, man. But yeah, man, it's been an adventure, man. Putting it together has been good, man. All done, you know, what we're working with right now, though, just, you know, getting the thing sent out, mix, getting it back with no studio time right now. But, yeah, it's lovely. It's a break. It's a step up from the EP. So, again, I get to show more of my creativity and flex a little bit more of my lyrical muscle outside of shopping beats from producers. You know, you get a little bit more of just that PhazeSeven, that edge, that what I was feeling at the time, man. This is the mission. This is,
So you spazzed.
Yeah, this the mission album, man. We on the mission, man. Me and you, we were brothers. You know, we've done a lot of shows together. We've done a lot of work together, but obviously my plan is different than your plan. But this is where we come together for it's a side mission off my shit, a side mission off your shit, and we're treating it as such, man. You're doing it your way, no pad, no pen, you know, killing this shit, and I'm staying true to my warcraft, man. Writing and spitting in one take and doing what I do.
Killing these rappers. Quick sidebar. So, I had Dre Raw come through. Shout out Dre Raw. He had did a verse for me. And while he was here, I had played him the album. And all he could do was shake his head. He couldn't. Wow. He couldn't. He was like, because I played him the intro. He was like, "Yo, fam, what?" I was like, "That's just how it starts off, dog." Like, so my question for you is, What's your favorite joint?
Right now, man, Soldier Story, right? Well, if I had to pick one, man, again, to get him a taste, I say Soldier Story. Just only because, again, it's another one that you just went right in and just fucking bodied it without writing shit down. But
Which one is
that
that
was
again?
one, huh?
Which one is that again?
Yo, he said, which one is that again? So, backstory. So, you go in, and I don't know how my sound's gonna be, but because this is all the unfinished shit. But yeah, you just is the one you just fucking went in, but it was based on my bars. Like, you know how the Jizza had labels where he raps all the different labels, and Animal Planet, he raps all the different animals, and Publicity, he names all the different magazines. So what I did was I was one night on a humbug, man, just sitting there, I was watching Black Hawk Down. And then I was like, yo, for this joint, I just need to write some shit with all my favorite war movies in it. And it just fucking came. So I just started fucking writing the bars. So it was Soldier Story. Like I spit and I named like 20 fucking in the whole verse, like 20 different fucking war movies. Let me try to get this. Can you hear it good? You know what it be when I flow to these beats. I'm a poet with these, oh you know it's the feet. When the shoes need a feeling, all I had was my feet. When it comes to top three, it's who big poppin' me. I be breaking it down so properly. Yeah, I heard your last shit, it's just not for me. Every verse that I spit is straight prophecy. They be studying when I'm going like Socrates. So cold and make you stop and freeze. You can't match my Celsius. You know who the deadliest. Yeah, my ego the heaviest. You fail in comparison. Got a bucket of hits. You made a hit by accident. Hope you got that liability. Can't match my ability. I mean, come on. Tell me who's really G. You know me. I said the bar high. Roll cigars tight. Hottest thing smoking at a bar high. Got bounce like Michael Jordan. Already know, feeling in my money, no vision cold. Why you gotta make it difficult? Can't lie, cause we got different goals. Why the love conditional? All good on the general, on the warpath, on the way to getting more cash. Talking more titties and more ass. Everything on demand like I got it on DoorDash. Bring some rental, check the forecast. Better get your job done. On progression, like Spocker. Yeah, you know the rules, I'm not complying. We ain't loud and your shit silent. I am electrifying, death defying, and glorious bastard on that random shit of private client. Full metal jacket and short sleeves, I'm coming for first blood, better believe. Watch a platoon bleed. When I put your city under siege, the last gentleman standing from the extraordinary league. Snatching puppy tags on trap artists and big fatigues. That her vaporized weed and sport bear weaves. That's why we enemies and I'm behind the blinds, setting up landmines. Handing these bitches tampons. The fuck is on these force mines? Sergeant Sorter with my privates into the general's order. I told y'all last track when the trumpets fade. I make that sound, it takes your Black Hawk down. Rhode Island 7 feet below sea level, y'all on zero ground. We wave the flags of our forefathers and stuff lifeless bodies in hurt lockers. African American sniper translating letters from Hiroshima. You are now in tune to the sounds of the Dirty Dozen minus the dime, Army of Two. I think that's one of my favorite, probably my favorite shit right now. Off the joint.
For me, it changes. because
what's that?
it changes for me because
Yeah.
First of all, Stronghold was a monster, is a monster. Video's crazy. That's out now. Go check out the YouTube.
Out now. Check out Stronghold.
Stream.
That's shout out to Remington Still.
Facts. Firewater, the next single, that joint. War Story. Cover Me. Like it Dog Tags.
Yeah, Dog Tags, serious shit. Even then, Sound of Horns, like yo, it's crazy.
So
I got another one. I got the other one right here.
We giving them exclusives. Oh man.
Fire, water, weed, and rations. Hold us accountable for our actions. Fire, water, weed, and rations. Pick up your sacks and get these MCs a verbal slashing. Fire, water, weed, and rations. About to take all these motherfucking chips in the bank and cash in. Fire, water, weed, and rations. Let's go get in my hand with my man's about to start blasting. How's that for relaxing? Sipping on cognac, flipping 20 sacks, munching on rap snacks. Stepped out of town, took the eyes off my back. Drink to this, smoke to that. Wondering how I didn't swerve on the track, or how my whiz high yellow but the business black. Dummies talking about the earth flat. With one stone where I lay my hats where I rest, that's in closing my back. Just round the random shit in the knapsack.
Hey yo, fake past that. You babysitting and these niggas tripping, hit the laugh track. Make me laugh like sitcoms with they bad raps. Got them running like I'm dropping bombs over Baghdad. You know I'm about to raise the NASDAQ. They tried to stop me, but you know I couldn't have that. After the cheese, yeah, just like a lab rat. You want me for the verse, go on, hit me on the cash app.
Just spilled the gang of yak in this bitch yak. Hope she ain't the more rat, the bang the slow cat from Bull Rack. My lyrical gat, stay cocked back. My bullets read Phase7 S cap, you in that lab track. This only comic relief. I'ma die laughing until I'm deceased. I'm a fucking beast. Ahead of my time, some think he blacking out when he rhyme. Here comes the army of two with the moonshine. In the canteen, rolling green and blowing steam. Son, man, with the blunt in hand, I stay on the scene. Like the fat bulls kicks, y'all stay on that lean. Bad bitches make bad decisions, can't keep their nose clean. Damn. Wondering how I stayed on track. Who driving the whip? Who this bitch in the back? Man, it do none of that matter. We turn bags into ashes and splashes into empty bottles.
My boss just like I'm Tony Soprano. Hear the keys from the grand piano. Take a grandstand like I'm Alyssa Milano. You too can rock out like you was Bono. Rock is burst in the air, suck the air out the bottle. Cognac to the don't hope and I don't yak. Wavy like a yacht, got my paper plane hat. Higher than the jet, smoking on that jet pack. Major comeback from my minor setback. G.U.M the set, and I always represent that. Hey yo, I hit that, man. Hold up, man.
Yo, that's crazy, and it's funny because the shit the the album goes so fucking hard that track right there is that's the comic relief. That's the all right, yo, like let's chill out, like mellow out a little bit, yo. That's the shit that you just laugh at and vibe out to. That's the halftime show. It was crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? That like it's hard, but it's like that's not even like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was one of the joints that after I sat on the verse at the end, I'm just like, that's it, yo. We turn bags into ashes and splashes into empty bottles, and then boom, the rest was
what do you call it?
with the history.
So aside from Army of Two, what else you got cooking up for the future?
Yeah, like I said, man, me and my man 456 and my man Have got a joint. Classic Beginning, Infinite Ending is the name of it. And it's just talks about, again, the beginning of my rap career, the beginning of our friendship. And it just never ends, you know, it just goes back like the same, just different, you know, you grow up and have a family and everything. But again, the fun don't stop. The shit that we vibed with when we was, you know, I talked in it about you know, when we let me see, I got this joint called Just Yesterday, and it's just like we just go back, is back in time, you know, playing, you know, ball, and he throw me the pretty much to wrap it up. He throw me the ball in the corner for the winning shot. We go play ball. Go to the mall uptown. Go to the mall. The arcade was right there. The movies was there, and if you want to get in a rated R movie, you had to find one of the old heads to go buy you movie tickets to like get you in there. But then you go back around the way after going to the movies and you hit a dollar party. It was Philly. We was famous for dollar parties, basement parties. So uptown, man, KDL was a DJ uptown Philly they used to spin. And he used to spin like all the dollar parties. And so it was just kind of one of those things going back, and we used to play with the spinning tops, you know, on the street. So this verse is that. Like this verse is just taking you back to, you know, we grown ass men now, but we just reflecting back. We just reflecting back on, you know what I'm saying, being on the court.
Hip hop, do you know? My brothers, do you know? Philly, do you know? I flow tighter than the string on the spinning top. Fresh new city Adidas with the shell top. Street ballers, cause we never had a sand lie. Hey, the Phaze in the corner for the winning shot. Scouting talent for catching kids at the hopscotch. Street light curfew, ain't never rock a watch. Jump in the hydrant, no belly flops when it got too hot. Young, dumb, full of cum, nose full of snot. Me and Hayes rock the hot top Phaze. Bust niggas ass in Street Fighter. Up in them arcades. Two young boys, too big for our britches. Looking for old heads that we knew. Took out his movie tickets. Dollar parties at night with KDL spinning. Paisley shirts, farmer jeans to impress the chickens that wanna let me know.
Yeah, shout out to 456 and Have.
Painting that picture.
You know what I mean? Scouting talent at the hopscotch. You know, that's how it was, man. You know what I'm saying? You be on the block playing and go walk by the hopscotch game, scouting talent for catching kiss at the hopscotch. So that's it, man. Just being a young boy, man. Just reflecting on that now, man. Like, again, it's just beautiful because I'm, you know, working with my man. You know, we've been since kindergarten. Same shit, man. Everything you heard in the verse, man. Spinning tops, you know. Looking at the biddies early during the day because, you know, you're scouting for talent, you know, because, you know, at the end of the night, you know what I'm saying? You're going to try to have get some Chico sticks, you know, to the shorties. But just being a young boy, man, that pretty much summed it up, man. Play ball all day, chase girls all night, go to the movies. That's what we did, man. That was us.
That's dope. Yo, man, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Of course, Army 2 album coming soon, man. I just want to greatly appreciate you for coming on and rocking out with the people one time, you know what I'm saying? Kicking it with Friday Night Live.
Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Megapixel over there. I see Megapixel over there. I got it. We got to get inside of her lens. She's sick with it.
Bet.
Sick with it.
Any last words you want to leave for the people?
Stay safe, man. Listen to music. Support independent artists. Support independent photographers. Seafood markets. You know, everybody is like, and not just black business. Anybody young getting it, doing their thing. Support the Portuguese bakeries. Like support the Spanish food spots. Yo, just get out there and support, man. Show love, man. This year has been crazy, man. I've been fortunate, you know, that I've been healthy. You know, my brothers have been healthy. Like my family, for the most part. We lost a couple, you know, people, you know, to this pandemic, this madness going on. But yo, stay healthy. Spread love, yo. 2021 is about love, man. Spread love, yo.
100%, man.
Stop hating, yo. When you're live in the top 5, you stay hated.
Hello. PhazeSeven. Appreciate you, my G.
Bond General. Appreciate you, man.
My guy. You know the vibes, man. Another edition, successful event. You know what I'm saying? Shout out PhazeSeven. That's my bro coming through one time, showing love. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page, G.U.M Entertainment. Follow me on IG, Twitter, all of that good stuff. To Whom It May Concern EP out now. Make sure y'all go stream that. Go watch all the videos. Trunk Rattling video, Dynamite video out now. Shout out Mr. Fitzgerald. But I'm holla at y'all next week, man. Y'all stay up.